hopefully people can watch these presentations if they missed the meeting today. Okay, I'll let you take it, Lisa.
Thank you so much. I'm going to share my screen here. I've got a little slide deck to share with you all today.
Great.
Zoom. I use Zoom and Teams, so sometimes it takes me a minute in Zoom to like get all the stuff, all my ducks in a row. Okay. Everybody good? You can see the screen okay? All right.
Yes, we can.
Well, thank you so much for having me here today. My name is Lisa Ramey. I am the regional coordinator for the Southern Ohio region of the OhioCAN program, what we lovingly refer to as Region 10. We are a newer statewide program that went live in October 2020. So it's been just over a year. We're kind of moving through those growing pains of moving from infancy to toddlerhood right now. But I'm excited to be here today. And my hope is that by the end of my presentation, you'll know what we're about and maybe have some families in mind that this would be helpful for. So what is OhioCAN? Briefly stated, OhioCAN is a new statewide, flexible, and responsive kinship and adoption navigator program designed to assist children, caregivers, and families. In the recent past, a statewide kinship navigator program was written into state legislation, and then my employer, Connect, which is a nonprofit based out of Cleveland, whose programs all revolve around increasing permanency outcomes for children impacted by child welfare. Connect received the contract from the state to be the vendor of this program. So as they were doing their research to establish the program, they also identified that post-adoptive families have similar needs and similar desires for support as kinship families. So it was decided to combine both groups of families together into the OhioCAN program. And we know that there are a lot of services and supports available to kinship and adoptive families, both locally and statewide, but it can be difficult for families to figure out what's the best fit for them or how do they access these programs. So that's our mission here at OhioCAN, is to make sure that all families are connected to the services and supports they need to overcome challenges. And we know that the need for a service like this is growing. Every year when we get this information, this number keeps getting bigger, actually. But a recent estimate put the number of children living in kinship or post-adoptive homes at 239,000. We believe, however, that this number is an underestimate and that most kinship families specifically are what we would consider informal. So they're kind of outside that child welfare system. They were independently arranged. And those are a little bit harder to quantify when you're keeping track of the number of families. So this 239,000 number you see here as an underestimate just really speaks to the need for a program like OhioCAN. And we are designed to serve any kinship or adoptive family that lives in the state of Ohio. For kinship families, this includes both formal and informal arrangements. So this means we serve the entire spectrum from children's services called and said, hey, can you take these children into your home, all the way to that independent arrangement we touched on earlier, where it's just kind of handled between that caregiver and the parent. Maybe there's nothing formally documented, that's okay. We don't require any kind of documentation or legal custody status. As long as you were caring for a child who was not born to you in place of the child's parents, you'd be eligible for OhioCAN. And also, to just speak on kinship a little bit, it doesn't have to be a relative. It could be a family friend, a neighbor, a teacher, a coach, a counselor that has taken in that child. So as long as they had a relationship with that child and now they're taking care of that child in place of the child's parents, they'll be eligible for our services. On the adoption side, we serve any type of adoption, public, private, or international. The type does not matter, but we are a post-adoptive service. So we do ask that the adoption be finalized or have a court date scheduled upon which it will be finalized to receive services from OhioCAN. And just a couple common questions we get asked that I'll touch on here. I know this is a lot of information, but we get asked a lot about if we serve foster families. So in the traditional foster care sense, we do not serve foster families. They have their own unique set of needs and their own kind of networks of support as a licensed caregiver. So that's kind of outside of our scope. However, there's a big push in Ohio right now for foster families, or excuse me, for kinship caregivers to become licensed foster parents. That way they can receive the full array of financial benefits available to foster families. So if it's a licensed foster parent who is caring for kin, we can serve that family. So just because they're a licensed foster parent doesn't exclude them. They just have to have that kinship relationship with the child in their care. And then another thing we get asked about a lot that I'll just kind of briefly touch on here is kind of in that informal kinship space. We know that especially in our Southern Ohio communities that have been ravaged by substance use, it can be pretty common for the birth parent to kind of still be in the home. They're kind of in and out, but it's that relative, maybe grandma or, you know, friend that they're staying with who's actually doing the hands-on care for the child. If that's the situation, then we can serve that family as well. The difference would be if they're staying with a relative, but that birth parent is still providing that primary care to the children. But as long as it's somebody else who's doing that primary caregiving in the home, even if the birth parent calls it home, it's still eligible for OhioCAN. So we like to point that out too. And then here at OhioCAN, we believe that families are inherently capable of finding solutions to the circumstances and challenges they face. What this means is that we have a shared vision across all of Ohio that our purpose is to be a guide and support during times of need. And we also believe that the plan should be driven by the family. So we don't swoop in with some kind of superhero cape with some one-size-fits-all solution to, aha, we know exactly what you need. But we know that families are the experts of their own lives and their own situations. So we're going to ask them what types of support are ideal to them and, you know, kind of take them at their word. Our tagline that we use a lot is "We believe families," because it's very important for us to respect the family's wishes and desires when we're working with them. And like I said at the beginning, I serve Region 10, which is the southernmost part of Ohio. So this is a statewide program because I know there's a couple counties that lie outside of my region. You'll see kind of the list of what's mine, which is pretty much all of yours with the exceptions of Clinton and Pickaway. But as a statewide program, the information that I give to you today is applicable no matter what county you live in. Pickaway has a slight exception, and I don't want to confuse, but Pickaway specifically. So as a new program, we're going through an evaluation. So some regions are able to offer a little bit more support than others. And Pickaway County falls in a region that is able to offer a little bit more support. So for Travis, for you in Pickaway County, OhioCAN can also offer Pickaway County families things like flexible funding for emergency expenses, some additional hands-on advocacy, so maybe scheduling warm handoffs or helping families fill out applications for assistance. And they're able to do some kind of light touches in with the family, so long as the family wants that from OhioCAN to just kind of see how things are going. The rest of our counties here, we are not quite able to offer that yet. So Jackson, Ross County, Scioto County, any of the other ones, we're kind of more limited where we can't offer that additional service at this point, but we're hoping we'll be able to offer more in the spring evaluation concludes. So as I go through the rest of this slideshow, I'm going to be talking specifically about the services that are offered everywhere but Pickaway. Travis, it's still everything I go through today will apply to Pickaway too. You'll just be, those families in Pickaway can just have one step further right now because of that evaluation. So I hope that makes sense and wasn't like super duper confusing. Good? Okay. So we take a regionalized approach because we know it's easier to focus in on a specific area than it is to become intimately familiar with, 88 different counties, right? So the state was split into 10 regions based on population. And so we have 14 counties in my region, which are listed there on the left. Our navigators, however, are employed through what we call regional sites. So these are established organizations within the community who have already been working with the community and working with other organizations to support families that apply to host a navigator. So in my region specifically, we have 3 navigators and they are housed through Sojourners Care Network, Integrated Services, and then Project Safe is our newest site, which is a before and after school care program based out of Logan Hawking School District. So each of them have 1 navigator, so 3 total. And although they work for these other organizations, they are 100% committed to OhioCAN. So they spend all of their time assisting kinship and adoptive families. And we always like to point out that we have a commitment to diversity, inclusion, and unbiased decision-making. We want to always make clear that everyone is welcome. Our staff receive training and ongoing education, and we have an ongoing discussions to ensure that we are meeting this commitment. Our goal is to be part of the solution, and remaining focused on our commitment to equity and inclusion will help us achieve that. We have a website, it's ohiocan.org. So this resource is available to both families and community partners. Our hope for families is that it's a starting point for them to access navigation services through our phone line, which we'll talk about next. Families can also submit a request to contact form through our website, and then a navigator will return their call after they submit that form. So the best way for a family to get in touch with us is to give them our phone line. It's 1-844-OhioCAN. It's one central access point for the entire state. So no matter where you live, what county you are, just remember that phone number, 844-OhioCAN. And then when a family calls that number, they're prompted to put in their zip code, and that's what connects them to the navigators who live and work in their region. This phone line is available every Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. until 6:30 p.m. But we also have a voicemail service for after hours calls. So if the family, it's 8 o'clock at night, but they really want to make that phone call, totally fine. They can leave us a message with their name, number, and best callback time, and then a navigator will return their call the next business day. So when a family connects to a navigator, the first thing that happens is they just kind of have an initial conversation. The navigator is going to be listening to determine eligibility and making sure this is a kinship or adoptive family. And they're also going to be listening for any needs that the family has top of mind. They're also going to explain our program to the family so that the family knows what to expect and can make sure that we're a good fit for their needs and what they're expecting as well. And if we decide to partner together, the next thing that happens is the navigator walks the family through what we call our OhioCAN Basics Assessment. We call it an assessment, but it's really more of 10 guiding posts to help guide the conversation. So that way it's holistic in nature. Once a family is determined eligible for OhioCAN, we serve any family member under that roof. So if it's a caregiver who also has biological children in the home, we can look at the needs of the biological children, spouse. If they're caring for an aging family member as well, we can look at that. Anybody who calls that house home, we can serve anybody in that family. And that is up to the discretion of the caregiver as well. So we also have families that just want to focus on themselves as the caregiver and that identified child. That's totally fine too. We're responsive to whatever the family is most comfortable with. But these 10 questions through the basics also help us take a holistic approach. So it touches on everything from basic needs to legal needs, social support for both the caregiver and child, any health needs for any member of the family, childcare needs is a big one that we see a lot throughout our region. Basically, no ask is too big or too small. So if a family calls in and anything's a challenge, we are going to do our best we can to find some support for that. On the back end of the call, the navigator hops over into what we call our Information Hub. This is a living, breathing, constantly evolving database of over 9,000 records throughout the state of Ohio of supports that exist. So what the navigator does is they put in the family's address and then a specific travel radius. We're also intentional during that conversation to ask the family how far they're willing to travel. We know it doesn't do anybody any good to send them resources that they can't get to. So we're very intentional in kind of mapping out what that looks like for each family. So they'll put in their address, their travel radius, what areas of need the family identified, and then it will pull up on the right side of the page all of the resources and supports that fit that need area within that radius. So then the navigator can drill in and do research to identify the ones that best fit with what the family said ideal support would look like to them. And they put it all together into what we call a personalized resource plan. So after finding all the resources, they add them into this little neat and pretty plan. And this gives the family everything they need to reach out and contact those places. So it'll have all the contact information, a brief overview of the services that place provides. And then in that blue box, the navigator is able to add personalized information specific to that family. So they may use that as a way to kind of tie this resource into the larger conversation, like, hey, you mentioned this is a need. This is a resource that will address that because this is why. They can also, we try to have contact people when we can, particularly with financial benefits, to try to take out some of that red tape loop of, being on hold and going through all that automated system. So if we're able to have a specific contact person and a direct number, we can put that in the blue box, as well as any information we think would be helpful for the family to have on their end to get access to that resource. So for all of us but Pickaway County, this is the general overview of what we do in Pickaway County. At this point, then the navigator would identify with the family if they need additional support and then work together to put a plan in place for what that looks like. The rest of us, that is a dream that is coming, hopefully in about a year once that evaluation concludes. So we always like to point out as well that we're here to complement, not replace existing programs. There are some kinship navigator programs existing in pockets throughout the state, as well as lots of other programs designed to serve kinship and adoptive families. So it's not our goal to replace any of those. We're going to work alongside those organizations to see how we can support them in their work, refer families there, and our goal is to provide a new service to families in the community. And lastly, we have marketing materials available. So if this sounds like something that would benefit you and you're thinking of some families off the bat that you know that fall into the kinship or adoptive space that could use some additional resources, you are welcome to send me an email. My email's on the bottom of the slide. It's lisa.ramey@connectohio.org. Just let me know that you were here at this presentation today, your organization, what you're looking for. We have brochure cards, as well as flyers, and then your address, and I'll get some sent over to you. We also have digital information too, like digital flyers. So if that's more up your alley, you're welcome to send me an email and I can shoot that over to you as well. So I'm gonna stop sharing now so I can see your faces and see if you all have any questions for me.
Yeah, that was awesome. Anybody have any questions for Lisa? Does anybody know of someone in a situation that may be able to use OhioCAN as a resource?
Well, my whole county does.
Oh,
I
good.
can share it with my advocacy group in my county, in Ross County.
Great, great.
I'm just getting the facts now.
Yeah, great. Awesome, Lisa. Well, thank you so much. Oh, I have somebody else joining the meeting here. Thank you so much for being here today. We have your, do you mind, we have your contact information. So other than the 844 OhioCAN, Travis and I could reach out to you for details or resources if somebody has questions or things like that, correct?
Yeah, yep, absolutely. Any of you can reach out to me anytime. For families, that phone line is still the best bet, because if a family reaches out to me, I'm going to tell them to call the phone line.
Okay. Got it.
But for providers like yourselves and things, feel free to shoot over any questions you have. I can also provide a copy of the slide deck if you'd like to distribute.
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, that would be great. Okay. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you, Lisa.
Yep, no problem. Thanks for having me.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. I see Aaron joined. Hi, Aaron. Okay, Travis, have you seen Dave join, or have you heard from him?
Let me give him a call real quick.
Okay. While Travis is giving him a call, we do have a couple upcoming events that we want to make sure that we talk about. So the DD Awareness and Advocacy Day at the State House. That is going to be March 2nd, that first Wednesday of March. And they are having an in-person option or virtual option. You have to register regardless of which you want to do. And I hope that the in-person hasn't filled up already. Sometimes it fills up pretty quickly. I think the registration link maybe went out last week sometime. So I'm going to share that. Let's see, how can I share that? I will share that in the chat here if anybody wants to grab that registration link. Then we also have this evening from 6 to 7 p.m., the Arc of Ohio is putting on a 1-hour presentation about the new Ohio ISP. So if that's something that you haven't heard a lot about or have questions about or just want to learn more, the Arc of Ohio would be a great presentation to probably listen to. So that is on Zoom. So I will share that link as well. And then we also have the Ohio Tech Ambassadors. I don't know if any of you have attended one of their events this past year, but they have hired a couple new tech ambassadors for Ohio, and they are having a big kickoff event. And that's going to be, I think, February 23rd. And if I share my, let's see if I can share my screen with you. Okay, can you see my website here, the Tech Ambassadors?
Yeah.
They're gonna have, Ohio Tech Ambassadors are there for you guys just to learn about supportive technology and remote supports and how you guys could use them in your own lives to be, more independent, have better, more independent living. So, and that could be at home, in your community, at work, at your day hab facilities. So pretty cool. It's an opportunity to learn about new technologies and ask questions and see it. You see a lot of videos and hear a lot of firsthand information on how the technology works. And this website has all the information. And even if you didn't want to attend like a group event, you could actually book an ambassador just to talk to you one-on-one, talk to you, your family, your natural supports, your team, and that you can actually book them to come meet with you, probably more so virtually than in person at this point. And then they can just kind of have some consult hours with you. But if you want to register for the kickoff event, you would just go to view upcoming events and you'll see it here, 2022 kickoff event, February 23rd. It's from 2 to 3 in the afternoon. So hopefully Buckeye Community Services, if you guys want to attend, hopefully your busing hasn't started by 3 p.m. Because it would be an awesome opportunity for you guys to learn more about who the tech ambassadors are and what they can do for you. But there is a registration link here that you guys would register for. So I will also share that in the chat. Any questions about upcoming events? Now, how do I stop sharing? Let's see. I think I know Zoom by now. Okay. Travis, have you heard anything?
I called, I left him a voicemail. I'm texting or I'm emailing him now.
Okay.
I haven't heard from him since January
Okay.
the 18th. So
Yeah.
I'm checking just to see.
Okay. All right. So I just put the Ohio Tech Ambassador Kickoff Event link in the chat. And then also Buckeye Community Services, I need an email for you guys to put you on our distribution list so that you will get updates on our group. So if somebody could get that to me, I will put my email address here.
I'm just making sure. Do you have my email?
Yes, Alan, I do. Are you getting our emails?
Well, I'm not. No, not yet. Not the Zoom meetings either.
Okay, so maybe we'll talk afterwards and make sure that make sure I have the correct email address.
Okay.
Okay, awesome. And then I wanted to share with you guys the link for.
Hey, Courtney,
Yes.
he's getting ready to log in now.
Awesome, good. I think we may have told him 11:45.
We did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
DD Awareness and Advocacy Day. Registration is going to be, it looks like they are still accepting registrations for in-person attendees. This is a free event. You just got to find a way there, but it's awesome. And then we have the Arc of Ohio presentation. Tonight is just, you don't have to register. It's just a Zoom link, I think. Or maybe they do want you to register. Sorry about that. I completely was wrong there. So Arc Ohio ISP presentation. Maybe. Okay.
Bill and I are already registered for the advocacy meeting
Great.
in March,
Great. Are you guys going in person or virtual?
virtual.
I went ahead and I think I went in person.
Huh?
Now I'm double guessing myself. I think I did in person. Okay. So any questions on upcoming events?
Well, I'm going to interject here real quick on our virtual choices.
Yeah.
We decided to go virtual, and we are inviting our graduating seniors to join us for the virtual presentation as a way to introduce them to advocacy.
Cool. Are you guys going to be in like one big room and
Yes.
have it? Oh, very cool. That's awesome. And that's why like Buckeye Community Services, I think that would be awesome if you guys are still all in the building. Well, no, I think the Advocacy Day may start around like 10 or 11.
It does. It does.
And it's like goes to lunch. So if you guys have the opportunity to do that, it would be awesome. And if you go in person, they allow you to meet with your legislators. So, that's always an option that in the future you will have. I know right now it's just,
It was offered virtually too.
Oh, was it? Oh, wow.
Yes,
I didn't even see that.
Yes, after lunch.
Okay, cool. So they'll just probably give you a time and a Zoom link and.
Yes.
All right, awesome. I mean, what would we do without technology?
Why?
Embrace it now.
Right. Okay, I am gonna let David in here. Has anybody heard of Recreation Unlimited? Show of hands. Travis, Teresa, Alan. Okay, Alan, have you attended?
Once.
Have you?
Eventually-
Once. Okay, awesome.
27 years ago.
Okay. Anybody
Yeah,
at Buckeye
somebody-
Community Services heard of Recreation Unlimited? Okay, I see a hand back there, a couple hands. Awesome, good, good. Well, I have not. I've just heard about it through Travis, so I'm excited for the presentation. Because it's something that hopefully a lot of our region can take advantage of. And David, can you hear us?
I can.
Awesome.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, hello.
Perfect. Hi.
Well, we're just gonna let you go with it. So I think you have the ability to share your screen if you would like.
Okay. I actually don't have anything
Okay.
here. I wasn't sure exactly what was going to be available. So
Yep, no, you're fine. We are
Okay.
recorded, so
Sure.
we post all of our meetings to our YouTube channel, just so if people missed the meeting today, they can kind of catch up on their own.
Yep. Great.
So there's probably about, I don't know, there's a larger group of us today, but the counties
Wonderful.
represented, just so that you know,
Mhm.
are Jackson, Lawrence, Pickaway, Ross, and Scioto.
Fantastic.
Yes.
All right. Very
And
good.
I asked, I don't know if you saw, there's probably about 5 or 6 people on the meeting today that have heard of you guys or have actually
Mhm.
attended your services. So
Okay.
most
great.
of us, the majority of us do not know who you are.
Okay. Fair enough. And so just so I know, the majority of folks that are attending, are they individuals from the county board? Are they potential participants in our programs? Who's
Yeah.
the audience here?
Yeah, we are mostly advocates
Okay.
from
Perfect.
the region that
Mhm.
I mentioned, and we have a couple. Well, most of everybody are like kind of lead their advocacy groups in their counties.
Sure.
You have Buckeye Community Services here that have a larger group of individuals that are attending their day services.
Okay.
And that's Jackson County.
Great.
And then we have Teresa Rowland, who has heard of you. She is the, she just got a new title, community something
Outreach
navigator.
coordinator.
She does it
Wonderful.
all. She does it all at Scioto County.
I understand.
So, yeah. And then I am Courtney Davis, and I am with SOAG. And
Okay.
I am just one of the facilitators of this group. So
Great. Wonderful. Okay.
And
thank you for
Yeah.
coming.
Dave,
Yes, Travis.
it's Travis.
Hey, buddy.
A lot of the advocates that are on here also would be candidates to be able to attend Recreation Unlimited also.
Sure. Okay. Wonderful.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll give you a little background on the organization here to start with. We're Recreation Unlimited. We've been around since 1958. We were started by a gentleman by the name of Dick Ruff, and he was born with some physical disabilities of his own. In the late 50s, there were not a lot of activities available for folks with disabilities. So he started the organization as a way for him and his friends to get together and do some things and include other folks with disabilities as well. And it's kind of grown. He was befriended by a sportscaster in the late 60s, early 70s from NBC4, who was on there for 41 years, Jimmy Crum. And together they kind of had this vision of starting the camp where we are at now. We have a 195-acre campus in Delaware County, so about 45 minutes north of Columbus. And we provide different programs for youth and adults with physical developmental disabilities. We do everything from canoeing to arts and crafts, sports. We have a 50-foot tall alpine climbing tower, and all of those activities are adaptable to each individual's specific needs. So we can make sure everybody has the opportunity to get to, whatever height on the alpine tower they want to get to, up to 50 feet. We have a Hoyer system set up that we can get people out of their wheelchairs and into the boat safely. So it's not just lifting them from their chair down to the dock, down to the boat and back. So we've got a lot of those types of adaptive tools in place. We also have a number of activities that are for, we just got a soccer ball yesterday, for example, that's got bells in it, basically, so that people who are hard of hearing or who are deaf are able to play soccer just like everybody else. And that's the key for what we do, is we try to provide different programs and activities for folks that so they can participate in the activities just like anybody else would. We pride ourselves on being able to adapt all of our activities and meet those needs without over adapting it. And by that, I mean, we're going to help somebody paint their picture. We're not going to paint their picture for them. So we're going to give them the tools to be able to participate in the activities and do the activities the way they want to do them without telling them this is how you have to do it or do it this way, that kind of thing. I mentioned that we have a 195-acre campus. We have 25 buildings that are on this campus, and all of those that are the indoor buildings all have heating and air conditioning. So when it's really hot in the summer, we have the ability to get in out of the heat. This time of year, we do run programs as well. So all of our all of our buildings rather are heated and air conditioned. They've all gone through since 2008. We've gone through and renovated all of our buildings on the campus. So we put about $14 million into new builds and renovations since 2008. So all of our buildings and program areas are in the process of either they have been renovated or they're in the process of. We have our stream study program, for example, that's being renovated right now to make it more accessible for everyone. We're adding a Hoyer lift so people can get into the stream without the barriers that have been in place in the past. So we're constantly looking at different ways to adapt and evolve those activities and make them better. We're going through and putting about $100,000 into our pool area and replacing all the concrete because the concrete was starting to shift and split and things like that. And so to limit some of the potential trip hazards and barriers in place, we're replacing all of that concrete. So we're constantly going through and making those changes and adaptations. All told, we have just shy of 300 beds on this campus. We have 3 of our what we call our traditional residence halls, which are open air dormitory style buildings. And those sleep up to 62 people in a typical year or traditional year. We also have our newer building, which is our Greif Retreat House. That sleeps up to 64 people, and that is a more semi-private building. And that gives us the ability to have, there's more restrooms in that space. So it limits the number of people sharing restrooms. And that's the building we've been using primarily during the last 2 years when we've needed to cut back on the number of folks that are in attendance to maintain the physical distancing and keep folks safe during the pandemic time. Speaking of the pandemic, we started running our programs again in July of 2020. We ran day camps that summer, and then we started running overnight programs in September of that year, so 2020. and we've been running overnight and day programs ever since. We have not had to cancel any of our programs due to breakouts or anything like that related to COVID. And to date, because of the extra safety precautions and procedures that we have in place, we've not had any instances of community spread. We go through and disinfect everything multiple times a day. Our archery program, for example, we'll go through and use disinfectant spray on the bows in between each use. So we're going through and doing all those types of things to keep everyone safe, not just the attendees, but our staff as well. We do not require folks to be vaccinated, but we do recommend. And that's just because there are some of our folks that just can't be vaccinated due to their disability. So that is something that we do keep track of, but it is not a requirement to attend. All told, last year through our programs, we served just over 600 folks through our summer residential, summer day, and respite weekend camps. That is about half of our traditional number that we serve. Normally, we're right around 12 to 1,500 folks in a typical year. In 2018, for example, we were closer to that 1,500 number. But because of the distancing that we are imposing to keep everyone separated and safe, our numbers are dramatically lower. But like I said, that is intentionally. So we've been very, very fortunate that we've been able to get the support from our board, our attendees that are able to still come and be a part of our programs. For example, we just had a fundraiser this last Friday night. It was our first fundraiser of the calendar year, and we set a fundraising record. So we're very fortunate with the folks that we do get our support from and have those relationships with to keep the camp going and keep everyone safe while doing it. In addition to the camps that we run, we do also rent our facility to other groups for their own events and programs. So we have a couple of county boards that come out and do retreats out here, either for their staff or for participants. We have a number of church groups, school groups, those types of things. So agencies will come in and do their own events and programs here on our campus. And we will provide anything from just facilities to facility and food service or programming. It just depends on what that group is looking for and what we can provide safely. I was just talking to a school group right before this call here, and they're coming out twice in March for 2-day events. And we'll be providing some programming for them as well as food service and facility support. So we do offer those types of opportunities. And the nice thing about those types of activities and programs is it does help to offset the cost of running a 195-acre campus year round. So it allows us to keep our fees lower for the attendees with disabilities that do come. Along those lines, we do have a number of scholarships that are available. So if folks have a financial need, we do have those dollars available to them. In addition, we will have the total cost to come to camp. The total fees for a week of residential camp, for example, are roughly $1,550 per person. But the most we'll charge is half of that number. And then we do have scholarships available if folks need them. So we're already supplementing a good chunk of that $1,550 with our scholarship programs that we have in place. And then in addition, we have some additional scholarship dollars if people are in need. And there are some that are tied to certain counties that they live in, for example. We get a number of grants every year from Delaware County, which is where we are located. We have a really good partnership with Belmont, Harris, and Noble counties. So they'll provide some scholarship dollars as well. So we do have a number of different programs available for just about anybody that wants to come through either our residential or our day camp programs. So depending on where folks live, just determines which of those programs is the most appropriate for them. We do have on our website, recreationunlimited.org. We do have a layout of the campus. So if you would like to see what the facilities look like, there are some really good pictures and videos on the website that you're able to look at. You can also get to our registration application that way. It is all online. And that is a clickable link on our webpage on the Programs and Services tab. So you'll be able to go in and go through that registration process and also pay any registration or fees that are that would be due through that program. In addition, we are waiver providers. So we are level 1 IO and self waiver providers. So anybody that has those funding sources that would like to use them, we do have the ability to bill for those services. And you can call for any details on that as far as how many units they would be and that kind of thing based on the individual coming and the program that they're going to be attending. So I know I just went through a whole lot of information. So if anybody has any questions, please feel free to let me know. I'm happy to answer them. And if there aren't any, I can babble on a little more about some of the other programs and activities that we do provide.
Hey Dave, I got a question for you.
Please.
Let me think about this. Okay. Even when you said groups earlier, can we do some advocacy groups too? Too?
Absolutely.
Like us group here.
Sure.
Can come there and have a big picnic or something.
Yeah, that's absolutely something we would be willing to talk with you and host. It's just a matter of figuring out how many people and what meals you want, if there's any programs that are needed and that kind of thing. And we will base an event on those criteria when you let us know. So yeah, we're happy to talk with you about that.
Yeah, but I just wanted to know other
Certainly.
groups, us, for example.
Yep. Certainly.
So we've had a couple people who have attended the camps. Do you guys want to kind of talk about your experiences a little bit and what you did at things that you were able to experience at the camp?
Well, let me start.
Okay, thanks, Alan.
It was fun. I had fun there, but it can be better to have more options for food, like lunch and dinner. We get more accessible to get better food.
Okay, but what did you get to do there?
Well, wall climbing.
Wall climbing. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I like that. I did some little arts there.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, that's one thing I want to see to improve is their lunch and food.
Were there any things that they needed to adapt for you, Alan?
Well, not too much, but a little more hands-on with me.
Okay, cool.
A little more guidance.
Yeah.
Guide me a little bit more.
Okay. Thanks for sharing. Travis, what about your experience?
So I started attending Recreation Unlimited back when David opened in 87. Is that correct?
Correct.
So 87 through 96.
Wow.
And then from 97 to 99, I was a camp counselor for 3 summers. So I've had quite a long history with them. And then for the last 20 years, I kind of really haven't had time to get back up there, which I'd love to. I know it's probably changed a lot since then.
Yeah.
A little bit. Yeah, Travis and I went through training together.
Yes,
Wow.
Dave and I met in
That's when we
training
met.
years and years and years ago.
Wow, that's really cool.
So we've known each other for quite a long time.
Almost 25 years this year, Travis.
I know, right? We're getting old. Dave.
Getting.
And it's actually a lot of fun. I mean, there's a lot of things that happen. One little quick story. My chair ended up a flagpole one time.
Your chair went up a flagpole one time.
And it's
He wasn't in it.
What'd you say, Dave?
He wasn't in it.
Oh,
No,
he
I
wasn't in it.
No.
I was gonna say, were you in it or were you out?
No, my chair has also been on top of the arts and crafts building. And my chair's been everywhere on that campus.
That is
It's
hilarious.
just some of the fun times that we have,
Yeah.
other
that's
than
awesome.
the activities that they provide. Dave, can you speak a little bit on the fundraisers that you guys do, like the celebrity waiters luncheons and the golf tournament, stuff like that?
So we actually just this last Friday, so 3-4 days ago, we had our first fundraiser of the year. It was our Flavors of the Vine wine tasting and auction,
Which is fun.
so that just happened, and so we had 350 to 375 guests that came out and basically went around the room and sampled different wines, and then there was a live and silent auction that took place throughout the event as well. So that was a really great experience. We do a exclusive wine tasting and event in June, and that is with a featured wine star. A couple of years ago, we had a lady named Sylvia come in from a winery that she owns out in Italy. We've had a number of folks come in from Napa. So we have these legitimate wine stars that people who are really into wine, which isn't me, but people who are really into wine, they get to come and do this exclusive event with this wine star. And then we do a golf tournament every fall. And we are one of the only, if not the only, nonprofit that holds an annual event at Muirfield Village Golf Club, which is where they do the memorial tournament for the PGA every year. So those are our three main fundraisers. And then we have a number of other smaller ones that we either receive all the proceeds or partial proceeds from. Excuse me, in Delaware County, there's the Butch Bando's Fantasy of Lights that happens every Christmas. And it's a drive-through light show. It's about 2.5 miles. And we get some partial proceeds from that event. So anybody that comes through, part of their ticket price comes to Recreation Unlimited. There's 2 organizations that do golf events of their own that we get proceeds from those events. We do a number of mailings throughout the year just to the folks that are friends of the organization and things like that. And then there's also the ability for folks, if they want to donate right on our website, they're able to place that donation on through our website. There's a link right on the front page that just says donate now. So they're able to do it that way. So we do have a very good set of supporters through all of our fundraising events, and then just that are friends of the organization, whether they've had a loved one that's come through our programs, whether they've come through themselves. It just depends on who they are. But we have a number of supporters that do help us financially to put some of those scholarship programs together, to bring folks out to enjoy the different activities and programs that we offer.
Awesome.
Dave, personally, I think my favorite one was the golf outing.
Yeah.
We have there's a lot of local celebrities that always come out to those, or at least they did back when I was there.
Yeah.
So there has been anywhere from like Dave Thomas, the founder of Wendy's, when I was there. Len Swan was there one time when I was there.
Yeah, we had
Aaron.
we've had a couple of Blue Jackets players come through. We've had RJ Umberger has played. I just blanked on the other gentleman's name. He was on defense. He played for the U.S. Men's hockey team 4 years ago. Was James Wisniewski has played in that. We've had Gene Smith, Archie Griffin from Ohio State come out and play. So we have had a number of celebrities that do come and participate in that event. And then a number of the participants are local business owners or friends of the organization, that kind of thing, that financially want to support the organization, and also a good excuse to play golf at Muirfield Village Golf Club.
And one of the people I do remember there, Dave, and I'm not sure if he's still around or not, is Hopalong Cassidy's son.
David has not been here in a while, but yeah, he was a really cool participant to our programs.
He used to design cards, and we used to sell them during the auction. And for those of you who don't know who Hopalong Cassidy is, he's a Heisman Trophy winner from Ohio State football. So, and his son used to come to that all the time. And then we'd have an auction at the end of the evening with dinner and all that good stuff.
Right.
So,
yep.
Good times.
So yeah, we've been able to maintain some of those friendships and relationships over the years, and still do a lot of the different programs that we have offered, and because of those relationships, have been able to expand those programs and offerings. You mentioned Dave Thomas a little bit ago. His name is still on our dining hall. It's the Thomas Dining Hall. So he was part of the group that was able to get things put together when the campus was originally opened in the late 80s. And so, his name is still on one of our buildings. So there's a number of those individual or corporate sponsors, if you will, that have had a lasting impact on the organization.
Do you guys still do the dances on Thursday nights during camp?
Every week. Yep.
Those were special.
Every-
A special night throughout the week. We get steak
Mhm.
dinner, or at least we did back then.
Yeah.
Steak and potatoes.
Yeah, depending on the group, we'll either do a steak dinner or usually for the youth weeks we'll do something a little different.
Right.
But yeah.
But
Yep.
yeah. And then we go to our lodge and have somebody play some music and dancing and having a lot of fun throughout the evening.
We actually in the early 2000s we opened a outdoor pavilion that we do the dances in now. So it's not
Yeah.
indoors anymore.
Yeah.
So we're able to do those outside and just be able to do everything there and
It's
have a really good time.
It's in the Oval, right?
Mhm.
Right
Yep.
there in the front. Okay.
Yep.
Travis,
And yes.
Bill would like to say something.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is Bill Adams. What types of activities do you offer?
We do, what's that?
David, I have this promotional video that's off of your website. Would that be
Yeah.
like a 6-minute? Do you mind if I go ahead and show that? That'll maybe
That'd be
show some of the
fantastic.
stuff that you guys do.
Yeah, it's
Let me-
fantastic.
See if I can figure this out. You guys see it?
Yeah.
Yes.
My name is Paul Hutlin. I am the Executive Director and CEO of Recreational Limited. I've been here 22 years. First started out as a board member, then my child came here as a camper, and I've been here ever since. The Recreational Limited campus is a fantastic place. It's a fully accessible facility, 4 miles of paved trails, air-conditioned buildings. It's a place where dreams come true for individuals with disabilities and health concerns. We have multiple programs, multiple activities. In fact, we're one of the very few facilities in the country that have both adults as well as youth. It is a place where campers come and they can explore, they can get outside, they can do things that they wouldn't normally do. All the programs can be adapted for each individual's needs. That's the key, to make sure they have no obstacles, that they have a successful time here at Recreational Limited. In today's video, we will be listening to some of our counselors and program leaders' stories. Listen to their words. They will tell you the story of our success and our campers' success.
Hi, I'm Madison. I've been working here for 3 summers now. I'm a resource counselor. I'm a 4th-year student at the University of Minnesota studying psychology and music.
My name is Jose Lecharzik. I go to Ithaca College in upstate New York. I'm originally from Rhode Island and I am going to be a sophomore.
I'm Ashley Egan. I am a senior at the University of Toledo studying special education, and I'm from Sydney, Ohio, which is like north of Dayton. Alexa Abel. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. Olmsted Falls is like a suburb around Cleveland. I go to Ohio State. I will be a 5th year. I graduate in December. My major is human development and family science, pre-occupational therapy. I'm Keely Wright. I'm going to Toledo. It's going to be my first year. I'm going to be a freshman. I'm from Kenton, Ohio, and I'm going to go to be a special education teacher.
Hi, my name is Jonathan Culler. I am a junior at Ohio State University. I'm from Marion, Ohio, and I'm studying psychology.
My name is Haley Pennington. I'm going to Columbus State Community College for music therapy to transfer to Ohio State University. And I'm just from Radnor, Ohio, just 10 minutes down the road.
Recreation Unlimited gives campers a place where they can be themselves without having to put any limitations on themselves or hold themselves back in any way. The campers, when they come to camp, they are so happy. It's like a vacation for them.
No matter how many times that they come back, they're just excited to be here and they're really happy.
Giving them a chance to open up and kind of be who they are when they may not be able to do that outside of camp. The enjoyment they have on their face and the smiles they have and like everything, like it just makes me like feel like I'm making a difference in their life.
And the campers here, when I do use music, especially we do some of our programming with music to see how they shine, it's just fantastic and it's amazing to watch.
Fishing, and we go on the pontoon boat as well as canoes. Anything on the water like that, everyone really loves.
It's beautiful, incredibly beautiful. When I first arrived here, I could hardly believe it, that this would be a camp.
But you come out here and like you walk through the breezeway and you see the fountains, and then those are on, and you walk through and you have the cabins, and then the pavilion is like right in front of it. It's just a nice open space.
So this type of campus, it's really just this like almost camp utopia in a way. It's just an amazing place to be.
It feels good to work here and to like be in this environment because it feels safe. Like you're always safe. There's nothing that's bad gonna happen. I got here and was very shocked. I had some sort of expectation going in, but getting here, the grounds are just incredible. Everyone's very friendly. It is always well kept. Everything always looks pristine. It has kind of, I mean, it's a camp, but it has almost a country club feel with the way that everything's held up. And that's really cool.
The person-to-person interaction and the ability to understand who these people are, what they feel on a day-to-day basis is something that I don't know if you can pick up anywhere else.
But just seeing the excitement that they have, the way that they laugh at each different activity, and the way that they just enjoy themselves, it's really humbling.
We allow them to be who they truly are without any limits or boundaries. That just seeing them be so happy and so proud of themselves is a life-changing experience for me as well. It just makes me feel good because it makes them enjoy like their life, and it just is rewarding for me to like reward them.
Thank you so much to our donors.
Thank you, donors, for all that you do for our campus and for our campers.
Because of you, the campers love it, the staff love it, and I just want to say a very warm thank you.
Thanks to you, we have a lot of things that we could do, and we have so many people to help them, so thank you. Thank you, donors, for all of your hard work and your donations. The grounds are immaculate here. Everything that we have is top of the line. Thank you, donors, for everything you do and for supporting Recreation Unlimited.
Without the support of our donors, this beautiful facility would not be here. Your support is greatly appreciated. It helps us with camper scholarships, program development, and it helps us in capital improvements. Thank you very much. Come and visit us sometime. We'd love to show it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So there's a quick view of who we are and what we do and who provides those services for the folks that we serve.
Bill, do you have any more, do you want more specifics on things or any other questions that you have?
Thinking. Do you? Or can you? Go. Out. Up. Or just A. Day.
Bill, are you asking if you can go for just one day?
Up. 2. G. R. Long. I am thinking, do you, or can you go up for just a day, or how long?
The summer residential camp is Monday through Friday, and that is overnight. And then we also have respite weekend camps during the months of September through May that are Friday through Sundays, and those are overnight events also. So they are multiple day events. So the respites are Friday through Sunday, And then the summer residential camps are Monday through Friday. So the arrival is Monday morning around 10 to 11, and then departure on Friday morning between, again, 10 and 11. Respite weekends, Friday check-in is around 5, and then checkout is 10 to 11. So they are overnight programs.
Where are you?
We are in Delaware County. We are right off of either 71 or 23, depending on which direction you're coming from. So from downtown Columbus, we're about 45 minutes north.
What?
Where are you at in Southern Ohio?
What?
He's in Scioto County.
Yeah, Portsmouth.
Yeah.
Portsmouth, got it.
area.
Okay. Portsmouth, you're probably about 3 hours.
Okay, awesome. Any other questions?
No, Dave, I appreciate you doing this for us.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Anytime I get to talk about who we are and what we do, you know, that's my job. I love doing it.
It's great. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you, Dave. And we have your contact information. So if we do get any
Perfect.
other questions that come at us, Travis or I will get a hold of you.
Wonderful.
Right.
Yeah, happy to answer any questions that come up, whether it's on the programs we offer, the billing side of things, waiver services, that kind of thing. Just let us know. Happy to help in any way we can.
Okay,
absolutely.
Great. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Dave.
Absolutely. My pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah.
Take care.
You too.
All right, guys. Well, if you do have any other questions on any of that, let Travis or I know. We can always get you in touch with Lisa or with David. Just so that you guys know, for new members that are here today, we typically try to only keep it at one guest presentation for each meeting, but we canceled last month's meeting because of low attendance. So we moved Lisa to this month. So typically our agenda, we go through roll call, then we do approval of meeting minutes from our last meeting. So we would read through those and approve those. We haven't had a treasurer's report in quite some time since we went virtual because there's no really money coming in or out. Then we talk about issues that we're facing in the community or at home. And we try to think about like ways to change those. So that's kind of a big portion of our agenda. And this past year, we tried to do a little bit of advocacy training on like how to be an advocate or what it means to be a self-advocate. So we're looking in the future, we're looking at maybe doing a little bit more of that. And then we do, we're trying to get together a program on helping us supporting and helping transition students that are leaving high school and going into adulthood, and that would be something that our group could help them with. So that's kind of in the pipeline that we're working on. And then we always kind of talk about upcoming events, and that's not necessarily with our group, but just around the state of Ohio, any of the advocacy groups we try to keep you guys up to date with. So any questions or comments or concerns for anybody out there? So our next meeting will be Tuesday, March 15th. So exactly a month from today. We start at 11 and sometimes go to 1 p.m. These virtual meetings have not been going that long, just to kind of stay aware of that. And when we go into person, we would typically have a lunch break and have lunch through this meeting as well. So just kind of some background there. We don't mind if you're eating on the the computer because we know this is right during lunchtime. I see
Like
a hand up at Buckeye Community. Alan, did you have something to say?
Yeah, like Travis ate something this morning before you come on.
Yeah, that was a great idea. I need to go eat
Yeah.
after this. Anybody at Buckeye Community Services have any questions or anything for us? I got Laura's email, so I'll make sure that you guys stay updated with everything. We do have a Facebook at SOCOG. .org on our website. We have a web page with all of our updates, and I did share that with Laura, but that has our Zoom details. It is always the same Zoom link to our meeting, so you can save it in one place, and that's what you can use every month. And we also have a Facebook page, so you can like us on Facebook, and we try to post updates there as well. All right, guys, well, if there's no other questions or anything, it was great seeing you all. Hopefully you learned something today. If you have any questions, get with Travis or I, and we'll see you next month. Or maybe we'll see some of you at Advocacy Day at the State House.
You might see me there.
Yes, all right, awesome, Alan.
You said you want to talk to me about
yes.
my emails.
Yep, I'll let everybody else go, and then Alan, you just stay on here and we'll make sure I have the right email.
Okay.
All right. Bye, guys. We'll see you next month.
Bye, everyone.
Yeah. All right, Alan, I have, let's see here.
Are we late?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Bye, Sherry. Bye, Bill.
Yeah, we're here.
See you later. We'll see you next month. Or, well, I'll talk to you before that, Sherry, but.
Okay.
All right. See ya. All
Bye-bye.
right. Alan, let's see here. I have Alan.
I got a new title now with my Ross County. New title.
Okay, awesome.
It's advocacy and politics.
Really? That's awesome.
That's why that PowerPoint Lisa did helped me out to share with my county.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Okay, we have Alan Blue 94@gmail.com.
That's right. That's
And
correct.
your last name, is it BLUE?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So I have Alan Blue 94@gmail.com. So hopefully,
Maybe I'll just need to save it or something.
yeah. So hopefully you will start to get. Let me just forward something to you to make sure that you're getting it here.
Yep. Remember we got it in my phone. Make sure I got it. You.
Over to.
But last time, you know how I get this email, this link
Yes.
from the agenda.
Okay, good. That's good.
Your email,
Okay,
but
good.
not a separate email.
Okay, and let me see at this email, I will attach our, let's see here, send. All right, I'm gonna send this email to you and hopefully you get it. So because I reached out to you over Facebook, so that's an easy way to connect with you too, which is nice.
Yeah.
But we always send these out every month, so I'd like to know that you're getting our emails.
Yeah.
So I just sent it.
Maybe you might be, oh, I got it.
Okay, good.
Maybe you got busy or something. And just
Yeah.
forgot to send me
Yeah.
sometimes.
I hear, yes, that's definitely a possibility. So how's when's Uniota's first tournament game?
This Friday.
This Friday, and where do you guys play at home?
No, it's
Where
a playoff game.
Okay, where at?
Southeastern.
Southeastern. All right. Well, Zane Trace, that's my home school, and we play at home. I don't even know who they're playing, but it's not a very good team, I'll tell you that.
Well, you beat us twice.
Yes,
No,
barely.
you beat me. I beat you guys once.
Yes, you beat us at your place, and then we beat you at our place. That was some good ball games.
You remember that one game at home? You know at home St. Trace game.
Yes.
That's the guy came on the court.
Yes, that was crazy. What was that? Did you know anything about it?
Well, he's from Southeastern.
Okay. Had he been drinking?
Well, he's got graduated already last year.
Okay.
So he came to see our game, I don't know what he was on something.
Yeah, something was not right with him. And that's sad because I think when like he was in high school, he was a good person, good boy, had his head on his shoulder. So I don't know what was going on.
Well, yeah, he got into arrested.
Jeez. Oh Lord. Not worth it.
Well, what can we do to fix that? That's the issue.
Yeah.
For us to talk about.
Right. I mean,
Well,
you know, Alan, my guess is he probably got around the wrong friends. Right. So I think that's something good that our, you know, group can talk about is to make sure you stick with people who are good people and are doing the right things. And if they're not, stick up for yourselves and stand up for yourselves and say, that's not right.
Yep.
And sometimes we can just kind of, you know, think, oh, well, I want to be his friend, so I'm going to go along with it. And that's not good.
I think the part of the problem think them. I need more friends. Let's go talk to more people.
Right, right. Well, you're doing the right things by, you know, attending the advocacy stuff. And when we get back into in person, you will love it, Alan. Oh my gosh, you will love it, and you'll meet so many people.
Well, I never went to in person with you guys.
No, and there's like,
I never.
I mean, we would have like 45 people. So,
when was my first time on Zoom with you guys?
Oh gosh, probably about a year ago, right?
Wow.
It was probably before basketball season started. You know, sometime around there.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably like maybe August, September-ish, maybe.
Well, that's when my birthday is too, August.
Okay, cool. All right, awesome. Well, hopefully you continue to get our emails. I just forwarded you Lisa Remy's stuff, the OhioCAN material, so you can share that with your advocacy group there in Ross County.
We are talking to expand
Good.
our advocacy group.
Well, it's been so hard right now, you know, with COVID. So hopefully this.
The biggest issue we have now is the number of people that are attending.